Well, click, click, get ready for your Kodak moment.
Welcome to One on One, a Bluff City Media podcast. Listen in as we go one-on-one with coaches, players, and influencers from across the city of Memphis and around the country. Now, let's get to the show.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of One on One. And this week, I got Jaykwon Walton, the newest Memphis Tiger. What's up, Jaykwon? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
For sure, man. What's the last 48 hours or so been like for you?
Man, it's been crazy. I only had like 5 hours of sleep in the past 2 days, so man, I've been up and at it ever since I got down here.
So this one kind of took people by surprise. They weren't really expecting it. University put it out on Thursday. How did it happen? What happened?
Man, it's Penny Hardaway. That's all I'm saying. No, for real though. I always liked Memphis as a school, and you know, Penny always been my guy since like 11th grade. So I just felt like it was a smart move to make.
So a couple of days in practice, what do you feel like for this season? Like, what is kind of the goal for you overall this year?
I feel like we got a chance to be special, and the goal for me is just to win the national championship. I want to win a lot of games and just put up points and do what I can do to help the team over there.
So I know you're familiar with Memphis and Penny Hardaway. Like you said, you've known Penny since 11th grade, played against him when you were at Georgia, played against him at Wichita State. What are the thoughts and the relationship, I guess, overall with Penny?
Nah, that's my guy. Like, if I need something, if I need to call him or anything, you know, he's always one call away. So, you know, we got a nice relationship.
What's it going to be like playing for him now, you think?
Man, amazing. I can't wait, man. Like, I've been in here. I done played against him. I can only imagine what it's going to be like playing for him.
What do you think about this team overall? Like I said, you've only gotten a couple of days to look at it, but I know you're familiar with some of the players on the team. What are your overall thoughts and impressions, I guess, on this team?
Yeah, like you said, I've been here a couple of days, but, man, we gelling day by day, and we got a chance to be really special. Like I said, top 10 at least.
So I want to talk about how we got here, how we got to this point. I know you spent 2 years at Georgia. Like I said, you played against Memphis there, went the JUCO route. But let's stop there for a second. How did those first couple of years go down? Like I said, you go to Georgia for about a year and a half. COVID hits, you leave JUCO. How did those first 3 years kind of unfold for you?
Man, it was tough, man. Like, I feel like I didn't really have a fair opportunity as some of the other guys, but, you know, I never gave up, and I feel like that's the reason I'm sitting in this chair right now, because these past years been tough for me. Like, I really got a story to tell. So,
talk to me a little bit about JUCO. I know that's a different world, a different life. A lot of people say it's humbling especially when you go from, you know, a Power 5 school, high level school to a JUCO. So what was that like for you?
Man, it was different. Like, you got to be a dog to survive in JUCO. Like, it ain't for the weak. You really by yourself. You taking care of yourself, man. You doing everything on your own. It's tough. That's all I can say.
And then from JUCO, I feel like you really got your first opportunity to be a featured player last year at Wichita State.
Yeah.
How cool was it for you to kind of come full circle? Like you said, you didn't feel like you really got the same opportunities at Georgia. Then you have to go spend the year at JUCO. You get the year at Wichita State, average 14 points per game, kind of a starring role there. How validating was it to be like, okay, I got this, and you knew you had it, but now you get to show it to everybody.
Yeah, I grew confidence over them years. Well, not over the years, but over that short amount of time I had at Wichita, and once it clicked in my head that, you know, I'm one of them guys too, I felt like couldn't nobody stop me in that conference. So, yeah.
How hard was it to make that journey? Because a lot of times you see a guy that's high level, highly recruited, and then it doesn't necessarily pan out. They have to go a different route, and then you never hear from them again. Like, the dude's gone, done, he's never productive. So what was it like coming out on the other side, now obviously being here with a productive season at Wichita State behind you? How did you kind of pull through that?
Yeah, I never wanted to be that guy. You know? I'm just being honest. I never wanted to be that guy that, you know, I was highly recruited out of high school, and I had some moments early on in my college years, and I just want to show people like who I really am and how good I really was. So, yeah.
And I don't know. It's kind of a funny situation to look at because, like you said, you don't want to be that guy.
Right.
Nobody wants to be the dude that you have to bounce back or whatever. Like you just want to continue like this always. But how much do you think it helped you? Because I think sometimes in those situations, that's when you grow a lot, mature a lot. So how did it help you having to learn that way?
Man, I grew so much over the course of the JUCO, from JUCO to Wichita. I had to grow up. I knew I had to grow up. So, like, from that short period of time, I was locked in. I was in the gym every day. I was just trying to be the best I can be every day. And
so with that really being only like 1 year, like you said, between JUCO and Wichita State, of you really like locking it in, growing up, as you said, and being the player that you knew you had the talent to be, like, how much do you think that, or how much ceiling, I guess, do you think is still left? If you've only been doing this for like a year or so where you're fully going in on it, you feel like you've grown up a lot, like how much ceiling's left for you?
It's a lot, man. Like, people tell me all the time, the sky's the limit. The sky really is the limit. Like, I'm nowhere near my full potential, and a lot of people gonna see that this year.
How do you continue to accomplish that? Because this is like, it kind of looks like a fork in the road, right? Like it could go back the other way. It could go positive. Like, how do you make sure, because you're in control of it, that it continues to excel?
Just attacking the day every day. Just staying in the gym, being a listening ear, just trying to come in every day and just be a great teammate, work hard. So
I think the growing up stuff is a good theme, because a lot of people have to come into it and realize, like, okay, everything's not going to be handed to me, whether it's attitude or, teamwork, whatever it is.
Right.
I guess what were some of those areas for you where it was like, if I don't work on these and fix these things, I will never be the player I want to be?
Oh, that you just said. Whether it was my attitude or turning my motor on every day, that was a big thing people always had against me. Coming out of high school, I didn't have a motor. So I just want to show the people I got a motor now, play defense and score. So
when did the switch come? You talked about it being, between the JUCO and Wichita State, but like, was there a specific moment or a realization where it was like, if I don't do these things, do you remember or recall just having like a moment of clarity on that kind of stuff?
Yeah, just I knew if I didn't be in the gym like I was this past year, I wouldn't have had the season I had. So just being in that gym really helped me a lot.
How many guys have you seen? Because I've seen a ton of this, of just like, you've got all the talent in the world, right? Like, you could go be NBA guy, you could go make millions of dollars. You may not be an all-star at the end of the day or something like that, but like, you can go take care of your family and have a great life. But instead, you choose, not to really care, not to work on that talent and stuff like that. So I guess how many players have you seen that happen to? And was it kind of a cautionary tale of like, I don't want to be that dude?
Yeah, a lot. I've seen a lot of guys like that, especially coming from where I come from. Man, it's a lot of guys that I've seen with potential to be like an NBA guy, but, everything don't work out for everybody.
What do you think makes you different in that?
I feel like my growing point was, I'd say, at Georgia. Like, it really changed me. Like, I seen, like, if you didn't put the work in or the time in, it wasn't going to show at all. So I knew I had to change and mature a lot to be where I want to be now.
So being someone who's went through those changes and stuff, I think that could be a big point for leadership. I love talking about leadership because it's so important to sports. Me and JQ talked about it as well. How do you use those things that you've been through, some of your life experiences and things that you've went through, to help lead other guys and not only maximize your potential, but maximize the potential of the team?
I try to put it behind me as much as possible, but even the good and the bad, I try to, tell them what I've been through. But knowing I want the best for them, I just try to stay positive with everything, for real.
I want to talk a little bit more about how we got here. I know I've said that a couple of times, but like, so many people were took off guard by this and shocked by this. And it's like, where did Jaykwon Walton even come from? Like, we have no idea. What's he even been doing since he left Wichita State? I want to talk a little bit about this. So you commit to Alabama.
Right.
You get arrested on misdemeanor marijuana charges.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama makes a decision to part ways. Just walk me through it a little bit. Like, I know this is a vulnerable conversation to have. It's not something that, you probably necessarily want to talk about or whatever, but like, walk me through what happened and how it kind of went down.
It was like the spring game. It's called 8A or whatever. We was out there on the strip, chilling or whatever. Like, I really wasn't feeling the vibes anyway. I was kind of ready to go. Like, the situation had happened like a couple months before then. Like, the situation that happened. That happened, so the police were kind of strict, and they was really trying to find anybody to pick on. I was just really in the wrong place at the wrong time. So, yeah, I regret even going out there that night. So.
What goes through your mind in that situation? Like, mentally, how do you handle that? Because it's got to be tough.
Man, it was tough. Like, man, I wonder what the narrative they gonna create on me now. Like, I ain't know what to really think at the moment, but I knew, God had my back. I believe in God, so He had my best interests at heart. So,
what does a tough situation like that do? Like, how does it help you, or how does it change you? Like, in what ways does it kind of push you forward? Because it's another situation where it's like you can backslide from that and just be like, I'm done. Like, I don't care if people don't want me. Like, if this is what's going to happen, then I'm just going to be done. But you keep pushing forward. Like, where do you get that from? And I guess what's the mindset in those situations?
I'm a monster, man. It created a monster, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it was tough that night, and I knew I was gonna have some tough moments after that, but I knew what the end goal was, and I knew where I wanted to be at the end of the day, so I never gave up.
Did you think back in April, May, Memphis would even be an option? Like, this would be a thing, or how crazy has it been to now be here from that situation?
Man, it's amazing, man. I really thought my basketball career was over with. I ain't gonna sit up here and act like I knew I was just gonna be here. Man, I thought basketball was kind of over with for me. But like I said earlier, God blessed me again, and I'm here, man. I'm just happy to be here.
Is it even more motivation? Like, I mean, like you said, a couple months ago, you thought your career was done. Like, you thought basketball was over. Yeah. Does it push you even harder and even more motivation now that, Penny gave you this opportunity? You're here. You're on a team that, could really compete to be a national championship caliber team from where you came from a few months ago?
Yeah, man. I just want to thank Penny for even giving me an opportunity, because so many people parted ways with me after that situation. And I know who I am at the end of the day, so it don't really bother me. But, I seen people true color after that situation happened.
So I'm not trying to make this whole interview negative at all, because, like, I don't view you in a negative light. And I think a lot of that narratives that you're talking about and stuff is just people trying to sell papers or get clicks or whatever. And I think it's unfair. They don't think about this side of it. Like, you go from being one of the top players in the conference last year to thinking your career is over because of people pushing narratives in the way that stuff goes. So I don't think that's cool. I think it's unfair, but it's awesome to see you on the other side of it. How exciting is this year now? Like, it's like an opportunity that you didn't expect. Penny's a guy that you've known for a while. You said Memphis is a place that you have thought about playing before, thought about coming here in high school. Like, overall, just kind of describe to me this experience and what you expect.
Man, I can't even explain like how excited I am, because like you just got to be there to witness it. But man, it's a special moment to even be here right now. Like I said, I thought it was over, and I'm just ready to be on that court at FedEx Forum, man. Like, I'm ready to show the people who I really am.
What do you bring to this team? Like, I'm sure most people are familiar with you from watching you last year at Wichita State. For people that may have not, or for people that haven't, watched your film before, like, what do you bring? Like, what do you feel like you bring to this team this year?
Toughness, shot making, passing. I can pass really well. I want to go out the best player, night in, night out. I can be an energy guy, a rebounder, whatever you need me to be. Man. I'm not, one dimensional. So.
Have you kind of learned that, like, just to be everything?
Yeah.
Like, just let me be everywhere, wherever you need me, put me, and I can do that job.
Yeah, I'm comfortable. When I'm out there on the floor, I feel comfortable, man. Like, that's what I'm here for.
All right, Jaykwon, I appreciate you for joining me, man. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment. If you're listening, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, you can subscribe. Comment there as well. Jaykwon, I appreciate it, man, and good luck this season.
Man, I appreciate you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of One on One. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to the Bluff City Media YouTube page. We will see you back here next time.